All right, family, I believe we're live. So, as you can see, today's topic are the more Semitic people. 1 second, we're going to get right into this. Hey, family, make sure you thumbs up so we can definitely build up our algorithm. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat so that we can address them properly. All righty. Okay, here we go. Now we are there. So, okay, here we go. So here we go, family. We're going to keep it simple. We're just going to ride down the line. Uh, Follow along with us. If you have any questions, please just feel free to ask. All right. So, what is a Semite? I'm just going to scroll through some of my notes here, and hopefully we can help the family figure this out here. So, the classic definition for Semitic: relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. The next definition: relating to the peoples who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. Hmm. I don't know if anything stuck out to you guys on that, um, but I'm going to take it a little bit further because it mentions something about Afro-Asiatic. So let's see if Semitic is referring to those people who are considered the Afro-Asiatic speakers. Let's read that definition. So Afro-Asiatic, relating to or denoting a family of languages spoken in the Middle East and North Africa. The family is commonly divided into 5 groups: Semitic, Omatic, Berber, Cushitic, and Chadic. Ancient Egyptian was also a member of this family. So one thing I'm noticing here is it's a lot of Africans under this title. So your Berbers are African, the Cushitic people are African, Chadic, Egyptians. So this is showing us that the Semitic people are largely African. Interesting. So let's move on. I want to add a little bit more context to this conversation. Again, let me make sure I can see the comments, family. All right. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the comment so that we can address them. I'm not going to hold you guys all night. We're just going to go over some stuff, and hopefully this helps bring a few things into more clarity. Uh, what is a Semite? So let's go by this definition here. From 1847, a Semite, a noun, a Jew, Arab, Assyrian, or Aramaean, an apparently isolated use from 1797, refers to the Semitic language group. Okay, back formation from Semitic or else from French Semite, 1845, from modern Latin Semita, from late Latin sem, Greek sem, Shem, one of the three sons of Noah. Looks like Genesis 10:21 through 30, regarded as the ancestor of the Semites in Bible-based anthropology. From Hebrew Shem, in this modern sense, it is said to have been, introduced by German historian August Schlosser in 1781. The credit, if such it be, of having originated the name Semitic from Noah's son Sem or Shem for the Hebrew root is to be given either to Schlosser or to Eichhorn, to which of the two is doubtful. The first known use of the term is in Schlosser's article on the Chaldeans in Eichhorn's Repertorium 8, 161 and 1781, and he seems to claim the honor of its invention. But similar claim is made by Eichhorn himself without mention of Schlosser. In the Allgemeine Bibliothek 6, 772, in 1794, Philip Schoff edition. So this is the Religious Encyclopedia 1889 edition. Okay, so that's some references for you guys if you want to go look that up. So also Semitic as an adjective in 1797, denoting the major language group that includes Hebrew, Aramaic, Assyrian, etc., distinguished by trilateral verbal roots and vowel inflection. 1826, as of or pertaining to Semites from medieval Latin, Semiticus, source of Spanish, Semitica, French, Semitique, German, Semitisch, from Semita, see Semita if you want to get further into the etymology of that particular word. As a noun, as the same of a linguistic family from 1813. In non-linguistic use, it is perhaps directly from German Semitisch. In recent use, often with the specific sense Jewish, but not historically so delineated. Excuse me. I guess if we want to go a little bit further, the definition now seems to explore anti-Semitism. 1881, from German anti-Semitismus, first used by Wilhelm Marr in 1819 to 1904. Looks like that was his life to death, his birth to death. German radical nationalist and race agitator who founded the Anti-Semitin Liga. So it's like the Anti-Semite League, or the League of Anti-Semites. If you were to translate that into English. In 1879, the anti-Semite, not etymologically restricted to anti-Jewish theories, actions, or policies, but almost always used in this sense. Those who object to the inaccuracy of the term might try Herman Adler's Judeophobia, 1881. Anti-Semitic, also anti-Semitic, and anti-Semite, also anti-Semite, also are from 1881, like anti Semitism. They appear first in English in an article in the Athenaeum of September 31st in reference to German literature. Jew hatred is attested from 1881 as an adjective. Anti Jewish is from 1817. How do we know Shem was affiliated with Black Africans? This is a separate question. So, one, how do we know that Shem was affiliated with so called Black Africans? Now, mind you, this information that I'm going to share now is coming directly from the historian, indefatigable scholar, anthropologist, archaeologist, Professor Dana Reynolds Marnichi. So this is a question that she posed and then answered in three parts. So I'm going to share the three parts that she answered with. And again, I'll repeat the question. The question was, how do we know Shem was affiliated with Black Africans? These are her words. The tribes of Catan, known as Joktan in the Torah, are still known by their names and still speak the old Sabaean dialects. Okay, so these are obviously dark-skinned people um, known as Joktan. So I definitely pray that you guys take the time to look some of this stuff up, because I'm just going to give you the raw data. You can take and do with it as you like. Two, they claim to have come from Africa in a remote time period, the Afar of Eritrea and Somalia, in areas today known as Ethiopia, for example, who still occupy the Yemen of Arabia, still speak the language of Harsusi, also called, in fact, Harsi Aforit, a dialect connected to Mahra. This is a dialect of the Harasis, to whom belong the Beit, Katira, also as well, all people that look alike. That's the definition, the Beit Katira. These are the tribes Josephus and the Torah referred to as Keturah, who settled the troglodyte region of Africa. Afar, of course, is the name Aphor of Midianite. So that's a lot to unpack. Um, Again, if you have questions, put them down below and we'll deal with it. Three, most people that spoke the ancient Sabaean or Catan dialects, also called Sahatic, still look more like Black African peoples, according to British colonialists, although most of these people have since been mixing with non-Arab, blank-haired peoples. Many are still Black African in appearance, i.e., near black with kinky hair. They were often compared to Somalis, Nubians, and other Africans. This is because they occupy both sides of the Red Sea under their ancient documented and biblical names of Mahara Isa or Esau, Makir, Galadi or Galad or Gilead, Afar or Aphor, Belawi or Bela, Hadhanme or Hadaram, Ubir or Eber, Atamina Teman, Yahar Pheles or Philisi, also related to the Philistines, Fesan or Fezan, Eliphaz or Rahawian, Ru, Bagawi, Begwi, and Sab or Shobai, Beria or Beria, to name just a few. So I hope that gives a little bit of enlightenment on the topic. Let's see if there's any questions. Let me look at the other page. Hold on. Okay, I still don't see any questions being asked. I see a few people in the chat. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to read this part here to tie in a little bit more about who these people are and why they are who they are. And this should also deal with our topic at hand. Are the Moors Semitic people? I think we've kind of already dealt with it in reading what we read, but let's see if we can get a little bit more direct. The name of Zerah the Cushite is connected to that of Zari or Dari, a name for more than one king of Saba. The name of Zimri, fifth king of Israel, is that of Damar, the name of more than one king of Saba. The Sabians or Sabians and Cushites were one and the same people, and along with Ma'in or Manaeans were the ancestors of all of the original Arab-speaking people, otherwise called Jactanides or sons of Shem. Let's see. The represented use of the name Afro-Arab for the dark-skinned descendants of Africans in modern Arabia tends to obscure that fact that the original occupants of the Arabian Peninsula were also Black and related to Nubians and represented by modern Shuwa and Arabs of Sudan, Somalia, and peoples of Eritrea and the Horn. There were also large numbers of people that came back into Africa from Arabia before their Semitic and Afro-Asiatic dialect evolved into Arabic, Cushitic, and Aramaic. That is why the Afar and most names of the major Cushitic-speaking and Berber tribes are still found in colonial times in Arabia, and as well are mentioned in the Bible as children of Joktan and Shem, including the Hadhadme, the Hadram, Isa or Esau, Hada or Hada Nadawa, Yeber or Geber, Yahar or Wakoi or Kore, Kene or Kani or Kenites, Kara or Kara, Beria or Beria, Ranawan or Rahawian or Ru Timid, Atman or Teman, Detu, Walia, Havila, Yahaber or Yahabir, Heber, Makir or Makir, Jalad or Galad, Gilead, Balawi or Bila or Bela, Quran or Quranya, Sheran or Sharan, Kela or Kila, Fezan or Fesan, Eliphaz, Tamashik or Mashik, Agiazi or Gaza, Itutan or Dedan, also Ditanu, and Udadas, who were also possibly even Tutsi. That is also why Tabari claimed the peoples of Sudan were descendants of Betawi or Betul and Artet or Eretz. Anyone claiming the original inhabitants of the Arabian Peninsula were not closely affiliated with Black Africans and ancestral to many of them doesn't know what they are talking about, and the former were also the only people named in the book called Genesis. Thus, a great custom of Afro-Asiatics were responsible for spreading throughout the Western world was the idea of taking care or being hospitable to the stranger or foreigner. The story of the Good Samaritan refers to the man of Shamran or area of Yemen. The name Samaritan, like Zimran, is the English for the Shimran or Samran of the Semitic dialects. Tabari writes of Samran being son of Jew Mardan al-Haduri, or of Hadur, which is an ancient ruler, Hadur, which is 27 miles northwest of Sinai in Amran, as mentioned previously, is according to the Arabian tradition, the biblical Hazor, the Canaanite town destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. So I know this is a lot of information, but I'm really bringing this to y'all. Just want to give you guys some really concrete evidence that you can, you know, take anywhere. Amram was father of Aaron. Harun, whose son Eliezer entered into Canaan, and who with Joshua divided the country to the Israelites. In that time, these Canaanites fled and spread abroad, some to the land now called Africa, named for Afren, son of Midian. The name Zimran is the Torah, is in the Torah, is related to Samran. Tabari writes, when the people of Hadur killed Shuaib B. G. Mahadam al-Haduri, God sent Nebuchadnezzar against them as a punishment. Armia and Barkia went away, taking Ma'ad with them. Ma'ad is a historical people mentioned in inscriptions from the early European Christians, referred to as Mediani or Medini, also Midianites. Thus, Shu'aib in the Torah is Shu'ah, brother of Madan and Madian. Displaced children of Amran in Yemen, the original or true land of biblical Canaan and Cush, which the Torah implies were regions next to each other. Now, I'm going to end it there because I don't see any questions. So, obviously, the information must be pretty digestible. So, I will just take it as that. Um, I'll give the people a few minutes to put anything in the chat. If you do not, I will end this as part one, and I will come back another day with part two of Are the Moors Semitic people? With that, I say peace and love, y'all.